And welcome courtside back out of the break here to the Chase Fieldhouse here in Wilmington, Delaware. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon. And it is that time of the year, the 8th annual SL24, as now we toss it to the house.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we do ask you please direct your attention to the floor. At this time, please welcome the co-founder of the SL24 Unlock the Light Foundation. Please welcome Mr. Chris Locke.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming out in the snow. Hello? Okay. And thanks so much for coming out in the snow and the cold to come and watch this tournament. It was 6 months after we lost Sean that I stood right here at the center court. And it was the first step of a million steps on a journey that we've all traveled together. And it was to become a journey of change. You know, change is a hard thing to do. We like doing what we know, what we're used to doing. The familiar becomes comfortable. But even that comfort doesn't make us the best we can be. Change is so hard. However, it is with change that we can explore, that we can find ourselves. Just wait. Okay. Change is what makes us grow. Change is what makes us better people and a better community. 8 years ago, I stood right here, and some of you were there and have come back year after year to support the SL24 mission. We are extremely and internally grateful for all you have done to make SL24's mission possible. All of you are beacon of lights in a world that can be so dark. For some of you, this is your first tournament, and I welcome you on this journey to help young people, to support young people, to help them battle with mental health problems. All of you now are the new bright lights to continue what we started 8 years ago. This afternoon, when I was preparing for the remarks tonight, I looked at the first speech I gave at that first tournament. I got to tell you, it was pretty raw. It was pretty emotional. As I said, it had only been 6 months since we lost Sean. The grief of losing Sean was unbearable and overwhelming. It is such a tragedy that we lost him to mental illness. At that first tournament, I challenged those attending to begin to take the first steps to remove the stigma of mental illness, to educate, and to help those people who are suffering in silence, to bring a light into their darkness. And you've done that. Since that first tournament, we have now educated over 200,000 people to remove the stigma of mental illness. We have awarded over $100,000 in SL24 scholarship money to help those pay for mental health services. Over 45,000 people have visited Sean's house. Over 16,000 have visited Sean's rooms at the local high schools. Nearly 5,000 have used our Peer 24 services. And as of today, 198 people who came to us in a suicidal crisis are here still with us today. 198 people. That, my friends, is change. That is change for good. All of you, whether this is your 8th tournament or your first, all of you are part of that remarkable change. Yes, change is hard. It takes a lot of work, but the rewards are great. My daughter, Catherine, who's the co-founder of SL24 with me, who's my rock, she's my heart, showed me a picture. And we had a conversation about that picture. And she said to me, "You know, Dad, a decade ago, this very night, we watched and cheered Sean on at a basketball game against Towson University, just 10 years ago. And a decade later, we're still at a basketball game. But we're not cheering on Sean, we're cheering on all of you. And that cheering won't all look the same. We cheer on our supporters, we cheer on our volunteers, the players who will be playing here, and we cheer on all of you in the stands tonight. Every chair in the stands holds a different story. Every type of support that you give us has a different sound. No matter what your cheer looks like, please know this: we feel it. We feel it in the volume, we feel it in the light. And know that we feel Sean cheering all of you. Each of you are the lights we need to end the darkness of mental illness. So as our tradition of this tournament is, I ask those to dim the lights. Those who have the power, dim the lights. And I ask you now to stand up. Take out your phone, as we've done in every tournament. Turn off the lights in the court so we can see those lights. Stand if you have mental illness. Stand if you want to help someone with mental illness. Stand if you want to be a beacon of light to help those in darkness. Thank you for everything you do. Let's keep on changing for the health and welfare of our children. Thank you. God bless. Good night.
How the others must see the faker. I'm much too fast to take that test.
And a special thanks, what a job by Chris Locke each and every year again, and just the strength and passion for Mr. Locke to get up there in another fantastic speech for a fantastic cause. And now we are ready for game number 2 of our opening Friday night here in Wilmington at the Chase Fieldhouse. We'll be right back with the Spartans and the Seahawks tip-off after the break.
The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by the Marticelli Restaurant Group, TKO Hospitality, and by Ward & Taylor.
And we welcome you back into the Chase Fieldhouse, the home of the SL24. As now we're going to send it over to the scores table.
and in doing so, help us seek out the help that we need. As your children, help us also to recognize when our brothers and sisters are struggling so that we may help them. For this game, we ask your blessing on the players, coaches, and officials. Help both teams play with humility and integrity, and let this be a showcase of both teams' dedication and commitment to their sport. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Pomeland. Fans, at this time, we do ask that you please rise to help us honor America. Here tonight, presenting our colors, please welcome, representing the Delaware Military Academy, the Color Guard. And fans, performing their rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, the student from St. Mark's, Abner Morello.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now it's time for game number 2 of our Friday night, as we have the St. Mark's Spartans taking on the DMA Seahawks. Coach Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon. And coach, we've got a good one here. And 2 teams that meet, it seems like, each and every year, and the St. Mark's Spartans and the Seahawks from DMA. Is DMA coming into this one 5-7? St. Mark's a game above 500 at 8-7.
I think this is really one of the better teams in the state, the St. Mark's Spartans. They are underrated. They played a very difficult schedule, a very difficult out-of-state schedule as well. In-state, they played extremely well, had a couple tough losses, but I'll tell you what, they're really rounding into form under Coach Lonnie Wright. DMA has struggled a little bit lately. They've had some trouble scoring the ball, but I'll tell you what, they play hard. They've got an excellent player in O'Connor and a really good big man in Wright underneath. This is a well-coached team by Franny Papillo, and I think we're going to have a really exciting game. As you well know, they seem to play literally every year, as you already mentioned here. It's always, to me, the extravaganza. I'm going to get a chance to watch them both.
That's right, 2 teams that we know very well. Now they meet here in game number 2 of our Friday night opener. We've had the girls from the Spartans here kick us off, and now we're going to round out our Friday with the boys Spartans as we're getting through here, starting lineups with the Spartans and the Seahawks. And again, don't forget, tomorrow a lot more action coming your way from right here at the Chase Fieldhouse. Day 2 of the SL24, all getting started at 12 o'clock p.m. And here you go. You see that QR code on your screen. Let's play a little game with everybody at home. Whenever you see that QR code, take out your phone, scan it, and donate. Again, we've got to make sure that we, of course, surpass the number from last year, $674,324. So we got to up that. We got to get. Let's see if we can get to 700,000 here in year number 8. So how do we got to do it? Scan that QR code and visit givebutter.com/SL24 Classic 8, and you can donate right there. And not to mention, Coach, if you, again, donate, there's also some other ways that you can give back and even take some stuff home yourself. How about the merch table outside on the way in? Some great sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts. I get one each and every year that I'm here, and I still say to this day it's the most comfortable crew neck that I own. I just got to get it back from Riley now next time I see her. She seems to have taken it over, so I'll have to get one here tonight. And then you take out also the virtual auction. You can bid on some great items. And again, if you haven't heard about the auction or heard about some of the items yet, let's just take some time to go through it. How about this? A Jalen Hurts signed football. That's right, Super Bowl MVP. 2 tickets to the 26-27 Philadelphia Eagles home game. And you know every home game's been sold out since, I believe, the late 80s or early 90s. So you're going to have to get 2 tickets there. Capers and Lemons gift basket, $500 Platinum Dining Group gift card, 7 Elite Island vacation packages from around the Caribbean or Caribbean, whichever one you prefer. And then, of course, Bardea Restaurant Group, ice tickets to the Flyers, so much more. How about this? Over 90 auction items all online at the auction page. If you want to check those out, just go to givebutter.com/C/SL24 Classic 8/auction. And again, you can head over to unlockthelight.com where you can find the links for all of these sites. Well, Coach, here we go. St. Mark's and DMA. We're about ready for tip-off.
Well, I was interested to see which starting lineup Coach Lonnie Wright was going to go with. He's played a number of different combinations throughout the year. This is a little bit more of his defensive-oriented club. Podolak can play some really good defense, is a real hustler. Watch for Bromwell, a terrific shooter who's one of the best three-point shooters and moves off the ball as well as anybody. But I'll tell you what, their glue guy is the coach's son, Wright.
And we are underway. DMA will control the tip here, and it's going to lead to an open 3 for Isaiah Rice. Short and into the hands of the Spartans. It is Dylan Bromwell who comes in averaging 13 points per game to lead the way for the Spartans.
Both teams play a lot of aggressive man-to-man. DMA will pick you up at half court and then sometimes at the top of the key. St. Mark's loves to run some motion. They do some 1-4 action. There's a great cut off the ball, which is a catalyst to their offense.
That was Luke Podolak, got downhill, got a nice feed, just couldn't finish, and now quickly the other way for DMA. That shot is up and missed off the hands of Sean O'Connor, who is in his 4th year as a varsity starter for the DMA Seahawks.
Had to coach against him every year. This guy is a really good shooter. He's evolved his game to where he plays more in the mid-range now, is now even attacking the basket. In the Conrad game, he took the first 5 shots of the game for DMA, but a really good player who's a veteran, as you mentioned, and I really like the way he handles the ball. Extremely aggressive player.
Here goes Bromwell, couldn't finish there, contested, fading away from the basket. Rebound to Isaiah Rice. Here come the Seahawks. Rice, starting linebacker and tight end on the football team, and now here in the winter out on the hardwood.
Rice can really play. He's dynamic. I don't think they use him enough in their offense. I worry about him from a coaching standpoint. He's very versatile, can shoot the 3. He's really good inside. They should probably post him up more often.
Going to feed it now, back up top to Rice. Rice gets inside. And a little extra step that time in there for Sean O'Connor out on the perimeter. DMA will turn it over. 6:37 to go in the first. Still looking for our opening points.
And that happens so often in today's game. Players are, the first thing you want to do when they catch the ball is dribble it, put it on the floor. Make sure you've established a pivot foot. You've got to practice that. O'Connor has a really good first step and sometimes gets a little too quick.
Here's Dylan Wright, another senior for the Spartans. Lofts this one up ahead, looking for Meyer. Couldn't track it down, and then Rice able to pick off the pass as he tried to save it. Racing up the floor now is O'Connor. Now whipped to the corner. Good look. Open 3 is up off the mark for Paul Terranova, who's the team's best defender. Looking to hit from beyond the arc there. Couldn't do it, but a second chance here for the Seahawks.
The big man inside, Francesa, is a senior. The lefty has played really well for them. Isn't a big scorer, but a good rebounder and passer and facilitator.
O'Connor inside, kicks it back out. DMA looking for a good shot, smothering defense here from the Spartans. They've got him trapped at half court, and that one's picked and stolen. Griffin Davis up ahead, Dylan Wright in transition, up and in. And St. Mark's turning the defense into offense here for our first field goal of the ball game.
One of those role players is Griffin Davis. He started quite a bit this season, especially when they got back from Florida, and I tell you what he does. He plays extremely hard, a good defender, and loves to pass the ball.
2-0 Spartans early on, quarter number 1 on a Friday here at the 8th annual SL24. That pass intercepted. Francisca tried to get it underneath. The Spartan was there to take it away. And now Bronwell has it in his hands. Bronwell trying to get downhill, fouled from behind.
Owen Brower is starting in the place of Cameron Suvia Jr. Suvia is a terrific player. I don't know if he's injured tonight or being held out of the lineup, but I really like that young man. He can shoot the 3 and is a really stabilizer offensively and defensively for the team.
Here's Dylan Wright, trying to leave it for a cutting teammate of Nathan Meyer, but it was stolen, intercepted by a Seahawk.
Pick and roll and the down coverage by DMA created that turnover with the big man sitting in the lane, disturbing that pass.
Rice has a cutting teammate in Franchica, and a whistle and a foul. Offensive moving screen on Francisca, the center.
I think they're going to get him for a push, Nick. He had already possessed the ball when they called it. He's rolling down the lane. I think they're getting him right there for the bump and the extension of his right arm. A big fella in there who takes up a lot of space. They very rarely go to him and probably should, just to round out their offense.
Great replay by the team upstairs. You had it. Great call, coach. This one 3 up in the corner. No good, off the hands of Meyer. Offensive rebound at the Spartans. Second chance here with 4:45 to go in the opening quarter.
Lonnie Wright's team plays unbelievably hard, Nick. I think they do a great job of rotating a number of players in. They really know their roles well. And they played a difficult schedule, which primes them for this time of the season.
Owen Brower with some good defense that time on Bromwell. Instead now on the other side, down goes O'Connor, and I believe this one a turnover here against DMA once more.
Just got going a little too fast, did Sean O'Connor. He's really trying to push the pace, get into that transition offense. Got going so quickly, I believe he stumbled over his own feet.
Both teams trying to settle in almost halfway through the opening quarter. 2-0 lead. They left a man open. It's up, no good for Griffin Davis. And a big rebound for Franchica, the senior, as DMA walks it across with 4:12 in ticket.
DMA runs a lot of interesting sets. They have 1-4, they have a 1-3-1 set that they utilize, do a lot of cutting off the ball and some really nice backside screening activity.
Here's O'Connor, the 4-year starter, got inside, trying to find a teammate. It's Rice. And now Rice on the perimeter, one-on-one with Bromwell, trying to take him to the baseline. Here comes the help. Defense thrown away, picked off, stolen by Dylan Wright. And now Bromwell leading ahead of the pack. Finds a teammate, Meyer up and in. Great passing from the St. Mark's Spartans.
A wonderful job by Meyer, Nathan Meyer, the senior, running the court. I think he's their most improved player, watching them from year to year, and we had to play them a couple weeks ago. He is aggressive, he's shooting the 3 more, and really good in the open court.
Spartans doing it again with the defense. They get a turnover, hands off to Bromwell. Bromwell driving, kicking, Dylan Wright from the mid-range, no good. Hey, another good look for St. Mark's, just couldn't cash in.
I'll tell you what, Dylan Bromwell does so many good things for his team. A really good defender. I mentioned already he's the best 3-point shooter, but he is a willing distributor on some of those drives and those kick-throughs to the weak side.
DMA and St. Mark's. Game 2 of the SL24 Lock the Light Classic. A weekend of basketball here in Wilmington at the Fieldhouse today and all day tomorrow. A whistle and a foul right in front of us with 2:58 to go in the quarter. And it'll be DMA basketball to inbound, and the honors go to Owen Brower, the senior for DMA.
They'll play man-to-man. They'll put some pressure on the ball. Bodolak is in for his defense. As I mentioned, Lonnie Wright's used a lot of different starting lineups. He's got a lot of interchangeable parts on his team.
I believe his sister playing for St. Mark's, the freshman in that first game. Here's O'Connor, and that time taking it himself, able to try to create his own shot, drew some contact, and now he'll head to the free throw line, and he'll have a chance to give DMA their first points of the first.
Sean O'Connor, the senior, is one of those players in high school that you don't see very often, that not only is a catch-and-shoot player, but he can create the 3-point opportunity off the dribble as well. So that makes him a unique player to cover. You've got to close him out, but know that he can drive it by you into the mid-range, get to the basket, but also do a step back or a maneuver where he can create some space with his dribble to shoot the 3.
Able to knock down the first. DMA on the board here with 2:47 to go in the quarter. Another one on the way for Sean O'Connor, the senior 4-year varsity starter, gets it to go, and he knocks down both.
Both these teams can play deep into their bench. Suvi is back in the game. He did not start. He's usually a starter for them, a good defender and an excellent long-range shooter.
There he was out on the perimeter. He's with Dylan Wright. Now it's Griffin Davis. Extra pass to the corner. Overshot that one, but the offensive rebound is there. Dylan Wright crashing the boards and putting it back up and through for St. Mark's. They lead by 4.
Dylan Wright, a very quiet player. Sometimes you don't even know he's scored 10 or 12 points, but he's their glue guy. The coach's son knows exactly what they want to do. I really like his play. I think he's one of the keys to St. Mark's success.
As we have a timeout on the floor, we'll stay right here. There's Dylan Wright, a big offensive rebound, back up and in. And the Spartans off to a nice start. They lead 6-2 here over DMA in Game 2 on our Friday night. 2:19 still remaining here in the opening quarter. And if we can get that QR code back up on the screen for everybody at home. If you're looking for ways to donate, want to be a part of this special weekend, this special event here at the Chase Fieldhouse in the SL24, you can scan that QR code on your screen. That'll take you to where you need to be to donate, just right there. It's that easy. Scan that QR code and, of course, donate to a great cause. Over $2.9 million raised in the last 7 years, $674,000 last year. Let's get to $675. Let's see if we can get to $700,000. I know we've got it in us, Coach. It's early on a Friday. We've got some time to do it. What do you say?
You sound like an auctioneer to me. Do I hear 650? Do I hear 675? You're the best.
Hopefully you will hear 675.
And how about let's go 700? I'm going with that number.
Sounds like a good number. Here's O'Connor across half court. 2:11 winding. 6-2 Spartans over the Seahawks. And a battle here. Griffin Davis on ball defense. Kick it away. Meyer running the floor with him. Davis through contact. He's fouled. And now he'll head to the free throw line for a pair. And St. Mark's again able to use that defense. They forced some turnovers here early on, and they're trying to convert that into points.
Griffin Davis has really quick hands. He gets out and pressures the ball almost at half court. He has great activity, attacks, knew he had the advantage, forced Terranova to foul. But I really like Griffin Davis, a junior. He has improved his play. Little used last year, but I'll tell you what, he's really rounded into form, become a reliable starter for Coach Wright.
Free throw is up and good that time for Davis. And we talked about Newark Charter. They went 4 straight, made it 5 in the first game in the win against St. Mark's. Well, St. Mark's looking to do something similar. They've won 5 in a row now after starting the season 2-6.
And they are on a roll. It's this cohesiveness of their team. They have a lot of interchangeable parts. We've not seen Joshua Huffman yet, who I really like, a really good three-point shooter. So Coach Wright has a lot of combinations he can play through.
O'Connor trying to draw the foul as they found him underneath. Won't get the whistle that time, and now here comes Dylan Wright. Meyer with a head of steam, tried to underhand back to Podolak, and instead a trailing O'Connor took it away, and then somebody trying to take it back away from O'Connor. Heads-up play from Dylan Wright, who rolls the ball on the ground, able to save that possession. Heads-up play.
What a heady play is Wright. That's the coach's son for you. He could have possessed it, and they could have come and taken it out of his hands, but he had the other option, rolled it to a teammate, and then gets it back.
Davis thought about it, now finds the corner. It's Meyer for 3, and he bangs it home. You pass up a good shot for a great one. We know Coach Inglesby likes to say that for the Blue Hens, and a nice job by Wright to find Meyer in the corner, who buries it.
They passed up a fair shot, passed up a good shot to get a great shot in the corner. Meyer is really effective, loves the deep corners.
St. Mark's once again active defensively, able to take it away from DMA. Under a minute to go in the first. 11-2 Spartans that time. Wright tried to thread the needle. Instead, it winds up in the hands of Bromwell, and he finds 2 off the window.
A very clever Euro step, almost pause as he went up. Bronwell can do it in a lot of different ways. I'm really high on this player. He's going to be an excellent player, only a sophomore.
St. Mark's again pushing the pace, making DMA play a little bit out of control here early. This time, though, a whistle and a foul going to slow things down for the Seahawks. And they're going to have a sub here coming in. Will be Makai Rembeckel, the sophomore, who, again, talking to Coach, saying he's starting to find his way here as a young player, starting to get some minutes and show us what he can do.
He's a good defender, can shoot the 3, but what he really likes to do is penetrate with his right hand, either to score himself or set up his teammates.
37 seconds to go, first quarter, 13-2 St. Mark's, and once again, Davis pokes it away. Defense for the Spartans through contact. Griffin Davis finishes at the rim.
What a heady play by Davis. Attacks the chest of Suvi, goes up and finishes through contact. You couldn't ask for a better play.
And we have a whistle after the made basket. As you check out the replay now, how about this one? Davis, the anticipation, able to control himself through contact and finish. And then a whistle to follow. And I don't believe anything substantial here.
Maybe a warning to the bench. I didn't see if they called it a technical. I don't believe they did.
No.
Mike DiMuzio and Vince Shipman, two of the veteran officials in the state doing this game, and they do a really good job of keeping the tempo controlled.
And now our officials going to get together. As it stands now, 24 seconds on the clock, 15-2 St. Mark's. And once again, defense leading the offense for the Spartans early.
It's their energy. I mentioned that. They come out, they play extremely hard. They played a difficult out-of-state schedule, 1-3 on the road in the December month. But I'll tell you what, that's got them primed for the in-state games here late in the season.
So I believe a double technical maybe.
That's the only thing they could have called
That's
that would
right.
not have affected a change of possession or a foul shot.
It was Suvi.
I've never been a big fan about the double technical. To me, somebody starts it. Come on. Is there anything that's simultaneous, Nick?
No, let's find out here with the replay. That was the tough finish by Davis. A very
I think
nice
Davis
move at the
wanted
basket.
the foul. Suvi stayed vertical for a while and then came down with the right hand. Looks like they got in each other's face a little push, but
Yep,
to me, the double technical should never be called.
Well, that time we got it with 24 seconds. And again, you saw just those two locking up a little bit after, showing some passion here in this one. It's the SL24. So ball to DMA here now with 19 seconds. Could potentially be the final shot of the quarter. 17-2, Spartans up 15. A big quarter for St. Mark's. Here's O'Connor trying to cut into it. 10 seconds to work with for the Seahawks, dribbling out. Here's Suvi, 4 seconds. Suvi looking for Rice, got to get it up. Rice looking for somewhere to go, and he'll find nowhere. Once again, the defense from St. Mark's standing out early here in the first quarter, and they'll take a 17-2 lead to quarter number 2. It's the 8th annual SL24 live from the Chase Fieldhouse. It's great basketball planned for all weekend. Second quarter coming up between the Spartans and the Seahawks. We'll be right back.
The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by Platinum Dining Group, Big Red's Digital Skyboard, BTL Foundation, and by CBM Insurance.
Right out of the timeout. How about Dylan Brownwell able to find his first field goal of the game, but it has to wait till early second quarter. 19-2 Spartans. Welcome back in to the 8th annual SL24. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon. And now we have a special guest in Chandler Morrell. Chandler, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Doing great, gentlemen. I'm glad to be here.
Again, 8th annual SL24. We've got a lot to talk about, but Chandler, just to start, how did you get involved in the SL24 and Sean's house?
I have been a part of Sean's house for, I'm looking at close to 4 years now. So, I've been there for a while. I'm like the Sean's house unk.
So you're like a senior now, right? You're a senior year of Sean's house.
I'm a senior year of Sean's house, absolutely. I got involved when I was actually in high school, so a lot of these guys aged my senior spring. I did the training, and I ended up starting as a volunteer. Came to UD, kept doing volunteering, and now I've been up here lead for around 3 years now, so It's been a great experience.
And how did you hear about the SL24? How did you get involved? How did it all come to start, almost 4 years ago?
Absolutely. Well, I think this community has such an appreciation for SL24 and Sean's House. It's just almost at this point, it's a household name. So when I first heard about it, I just knew I had to join, get involved, some matter or way. And I just signed up online, you know. I reached out. They were like, we'd love to have you. And, yeah, it just kind of came out a perfect way.
4 years later, here we are, right? It's funny how that works out, right? And how's everything gone for you here today as we have a kick out here? 3 is up, and that is good. How about Joshua Huffman, another senior coach, able to knock down the 3. And St. Mark's continuing to roll. And once again, the pressure here in the backcourt. Spartans up 20 before the whistle.
That's Huffman's 18-3, a very dangerous player from both deep corners. He's got good height. He's one of those very reliable reserves that comes in, knows their role, is able to execute extremely well in Lonnie Wright's offense.
Jaden Early in for DMA, and for St. Mark's, Elijah Robinson back out onto the floor for head coach Lonnie Wright here a few minutes into the second quarter. 22-2 Spartans up in front, and we're joined now by Chandler Morrell. And Chandler, we talked about how you got started, and you mentioned almost 4 years now as a peer lead. What have you seen as kind of the impact here? You've been up close, you've been right at the forefront of it. What have you seen, you know, from your perspective, is the impact from Sean's House and the SL24?
One of the most beautiful things I've seen this organization do over the past 4 years is really expand into the Delaware community. I think our Sean's rooms especially really help, where we're actually going to these schools to provide peer support and provide those services. Having our name out there is just really helpful in getting kids and adults alike the resources that they need.
Big time block that time from Isaiah Rice.
Rice, super athletic. They'll play 2-3 zone underneath. St. Mark's always has a solution for the zone out of bounds play.
Rice comes up with the rebound that time as well. Again, Seahawks got to be careful taking care of the basketball, as the Spartans been able to take it away here through the first 10 minutes of the ball game. They lead by 20. Nice floater inside here. It drops through. How about that move?
Good bucket.
Makai Rembeckel. And you'd mentioned him a little while ago, Coach, onto the floor now, and he's got the second field of the game for DMA.
He loves to drive with his right hand, shoots the floater pretty well. He uses that because of his height disadvantage inside, but he's pretty quick and a nice solid defender.
Drive inside that time, no good. Rebound.
Rice with another block. Very impactful around the basket. He's long and quick and has excellent timing.
Starting linebacker and tight end over there during the fall for the football team. You had a successful year. That one, though, stolen away. St. Mark's piling up the steals here early. Robinson steps into a deep 3. Elijah Robinson, no good, and another rebound for DMA. This time it is the sophomore Rembecki, and we are joined here by Chandler Morrell. And Chandler, you're the operations coordinator for Sean's House, right? Organizing dinners at the house. And why do you think it's important that different groups and organizations come to those dinners at Sean's House, and kind of run us through, you know, what kind of the dinners that you're able to put on?
So the purpose of our Gather and Grow dinners is for different groups, whether it be high school basketball teams to on-campus religious groups, or any type of group that is interested in learning more about the house. We bring them in, we feed them a nice dinner, you know, we show them the space, but we also teach them why Sean's House is important and why the resources that we have there should be utilized. It's a really beautiful experience. We're actually starting to see a lot of people who come back a second time, and they're like, I learned this from one of our Gather and Grow dinners. It's truly beautiful.
Is that just, again, I mean, what strides it has made? I'm sure, you know, obviously since its inception back when, but also, like you mentioned, just in the short time that you've been there as well. I guess not short time anymore, senior, as we talked about a little bit earlier.
Yep.
So what has been, let me ask you this one, what has been your favorite dinner at the house?
Oh, that's a tough question. That's a tough question.
It is a tough, putting you on the spot here. This is unscripted.
All right. I'm going to have to say I love Taverna. Taverna, they got
there you
good
go.
pasta.
Very good choice. Good platinum group.
That's right. Coach is jumping in on that one.
There we go.
I love Taverna, and I love the platinum group.
Yup, their Primavera is the best.
Yeah, there you have it. How about that endorsement? Davis misses inside. Second chance, though, for the Spartans here on the offensive glass.
Boy, St. Mark's has been so quick to the ball. They've been aggressive offensive rebounds. Subi there with a nice defensive play, but St. Mark's has shared the ball very well, and their aggressive defense has turned over DMA countless times.
Catch and shoot 3 for Tyler Neal, the junior, couldn't hit it after the nice defensive play by Subi, which you highlighted his defensive prowess a little bit earlier. And now with 3:46, off the dribble, Dylan Wright, shooter's roll, rolls through, and St. Mark's is rolling here in the second quarter.
Well, when you're going to play ball screen coverage in the middle of the floor, the middle third, you cannot let a right-hander reject the screen, as Wright did and got himself into the mid-range.
O'Connor thought about it. Now puts it on the floor, back up top to Suvi. 3:23 to go. Spartans up 27-6. DMA just trying to find some type of rhythm here offensively, and they'll throw it away here. St. Mark's forces another turnover. And while we're still here with Chandler, and we talked about everything that you've done over there at Sean's house, but now let's talk a little bit about you now personally. How has being a peer leader shaped your own understanding of mental health, as opposed to how you thought about it when you got there?
Absolutely. Being able to hear all the different experiences of the guests who come into the house has been extremely impactful. It really teaches you how to have a broader worldview about not only the Newark community, but the Delaware community. We've had people come in with all different types of, let's say, quote-unquote, problems, right? We have people come in because they've had a bad day, but we also have people who come in who are actively in crisis. And being able to see that in the community really shows how mental health doesn't choose, one specific type of person. It's athletes, it's actors, it's anyone who can think and have a brain,
Absolutely right. As Dylan Bromwell, a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play here, hung up in the air, Griffin Davis, and was fouled and able to finish. And Coach here with 2:41 to go in the first half, been all Spartans here so far, and we talked about that win streak, and they're playing like it.
They've been very impressive. As I said, they're a very underrated team for their record. They played a difficult out-of-state schedule. They've traveled well. They've been in a lot of, not necessarily super close games, but games enough where they're going to gain this kind of experience. They're very deep. They play very hard, and I'll tell you what, they've shared the ball extremely well tonight, making the extra pass countless times.
Once again, a defense all over the inbound and almost able to force another turnover here with 2:39 to go. Spartans up 24 here on a Friday night at the Chase Fieldhouse in the SL24. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon, and we are joined by Chandler Morrell. And we have a whistle on the far side of the floor. It'll be, I believe, stay DMA.
They are getting DMA to speed up beyond how they want to play. Then they'll dribble it into a bad spot, and they will double team them looking for the turnover or the steal. So they're a really tough-minded defense. They'll extend, they'll play some full court pressure and half court pressures.
An extra dribble though that time from Jason Paris, who is actually the kicker on the football team, but in the winter suits up onto the hardwood. A couple football players here for the Seahawks out on the floor, and there you go. You see that QR code on your screen at home. That's how you donate to the SL24. Just go ahead and take out your phone, scan that QR code, and that'll take you where you need to be to make a difference. 2:20 to go, first half, 30-6. It's been all St. Mark's here so far, and right inside the free throw line, a little jumper is pure. Dylan Wright off the dribble, able to knock it down.
I love his game. He plays to his strengths. He's a very smart player, plays under control at all times.
I believe we have a charge here as Rice, we talked about the athleticism, was able to get to the basket, but a Spartan was waiting for him there, able to take the charge as we check out the replay. And how about that? Good rotation over there by St. Mark's.
The best way to stop a straight line driver is to get someone in his way before the restricted area, step in, draw the charge. That way now you'll make them play into the mid-range or be more circumspect on future drives.
Kip filling game, the senior in for the Spartans. And Chandler, what advice might you give someone who wants to get involved with Sean's house and maybe, has been from the outside looking in, wants to get involved, not sure how to go about it?
I'd say the first step is just to reach out. We are one of the most accepting, open communities you can find in the Delaware area. And especially if you're interested in getting involved with mental health support or even potentially one day being a therapist or counselor, it's the greatest first step you can do in this area to kind of fast track yourself towards that occupation.
140, 32-6 St. Mark's as Rebecca almost lost it here on the perimeter. Here's Rice. Kicks it out. Baseline jumper is good. That time for the junior Tyler Neal, able to knock down the jump shot for DMA.
A split and kick. Neal is a really good three-point shooter off the bench. Got himself shot ready over in the right corner.
Man, Chandler, obviously we're back for another year here at the SL24. What's your favorite part of this weekend overall? I mean, Friday, Saturday, a huge block by Rice inside. Is it going through the merch? Is it making friends? What is the best part about your weekend here at the SL24?
I'm going to let you gentlemen know right now, I am a proud Salesian gentleman. So I love Saturday night. I love seeing my boys in gold and white.
There you go.
Play Sanford. It's a classic rivalry. In my opinion, best game of the whole weekend. I know that's controversial around these parts.
Well, it is the last game, so it might be the best game. Chandler, what year did you graduate from Salesian?
I graduated 2022, so not too long ago.
There's Deadweiler, the freshman, Zach Deadweiler. You know that last name as he's able to get inside and finish. 34-8 Spartans, 47 seconds. Rice almost thought about the three. They get it inside to Paris. It's stripped away, and the tie-up now underneath with Daniel Ibrahim. And a jump ball possession arrow. Going to give it to DMA with 40 seconds to go in the half.
St. Mark's came out with just so much enthusiasm and energy. Coach Wright's been able to go to his bench and allow a lot of different combinations to play, and they've really paid off and done a great job.
They get it inside. Nice inbound. Couldn't finish. Contested for Jason Paris. And rebound. And then a foul. We're going up against DMA as Deadweiler had it and was contacted in the backcourt. So, Chandler, let me ask you, you said 2022. I think that was in the midst of those basketball state championship run over there for Salesian, right? Where you get to see some of those?
I did, yeah. So my senior year, we unfortunately, I believe, lost to Tower Hill.
That game, Coach and I did that state
we
championship
did that game.
game.
Maybe the single best three-point shooting performance in the history of Delaware basketball.
Never seen anything like it, Coach. I know we say that to this day. We talk about we've never seen anything like that. Inside and one. Once again for the Spartans. This time Xavier Tapper is getting in on the party here for St. Mark's.
It was absolutely heartbreaking, I'll tell you that. Beautiful game, absolutely heartbreaking.
As we see the finish here through contact, St. Mark's, they're clicking on all cylinders right now. 19.5 seconds to go in the half, and they're up 28, a chance to make it 30 here at the line. What a start for St. Mark's, but I'll tell you, that was a heck of a game there, but Sally's able to get a few of those state championships during that little run there, so they got some.
Who's your all-time favorite basketball player at Salesianum?
I mean, we can always say Dante, right? But growing up, I actually watched Dante play, and I watched Brian O'Neill play as well. So
I had to coach against those two guys.
That's right.
We almost beat them one year. An NFL starting right tackle and a terrific player for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
That's right. We had Brian out on the football field during that time.
Yes, he was. He was a good one on both ways. Saw his dad here tonight down here supporting the SL24.
Absolutely. 2.9 seconds as they get it in. This shot will count if it goes. Shooters roll, no, off the hands of Zach Deadweiler. And that'll take us to the end of half number one. And it was a half filled with Spartans, 37-10, as St. Mark's leading DMA by 27 as we head to the locker room. Chandler, thank you so much for joining us here courtside. Have a great rest of your weekend.
All right, thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to send it to break when we come back. Second half action between St. Mark's and DMA, rounding out our Friday night at the 8th annual SL24.
Hi, I'm Carl Dridge, founder and CEO of Platinum Dining Room, a Delaware-based hospitality group that's been serving the Mid-Atlantic region since 1996. And I'd like to personally welcome you to our collection of restaurants. For nearly 30 years, Platinum Dining Group has had the privilege of serving millions of guests throughout the area. What began as a single idea has grown into a family of distinctive dining rooms, each with its own personality, food style, and ambition, but all rooted in the same commitment to unparalleled hospitality. Today, that commitment is brought to life by more than 500 dedicated professionals who show up every day with pride, passion, and an unwavering attention to detail. Our goal has always been simple: to create genuine and memorable experiences. Whether it's handmade pasta at Capers and Lemons, a coal-fired pizza from Taverna, or a sizzling red fire steak, every dish, every drink, and every moment is carefully considered. It's more than just food, it's about the connection. So allow me this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for inviting us into your lives for 30 years. Whether it's a cozy dinner, a milestone celebration, or just something in between, thank you for allowing us to be part of your story, our story, the Platinum Dining Room story.
The time I faced adversity was when I dislocated my kneecap. It put me out for the rest of my senior season, so that was the last time I'll ever touch a basketball. Basketball has honestly brought me my best friends. It's taught me how to move through adversity and how to push through hard things.
My cousin died. It was hard times, but I just talked to my family about it and just got through adversity, pushed through. We just kept talking and showing love to each other, just show how much we meant to each other. It helped me on the basketball court, know who I'm playing for, just thinking about him, and even with our family, it just make me think I love them and I don't know what I would do without them.
When I was in 3rd grade, my parents, they got a divorce. It was a tough time for me. I faced a lot of adversity I had to push through. I really relied on my family.
I faced adversity when my parents separated and kind of just broke me, and I just felt like I didn't have a safe space at home to just feel all my feelings, and I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it. Basketball was just an outlet where I could just use go there and let all my feelings out. Didn't have to talk about anything, didn't have to think about anything that was going on.
Growing up knowing the Locke family and being family friends with them, I was very aware of Sean's passing, and just being able to see the impact of his passing on other people, I was able to be aware of how to deal with mental health and just be more comfortable.
Losing my grandma at a young age and my childhood friend recently, I felt like a part of me just left. That's really it. It was hard without seeing them every day no more.
It was my 6th grade year. It was COVID. COVID just hit and we were in quarantine, and I got a call from my mom saying that my cousin passed away in a bike accident. He brought a lot of joy to our family. He walked in the room, everybody started smiling. He was just a cool person to be around. I do play for him a lot. We didn't really share basketball, but he was always in the stands for me when I needed him.
When my grandmother passed away my 8th grade year, it was definitely a very hard time for me because my grandmother was my biggest supporter when it came to sports. Her passing away was a loss to everyone, and so I felt like grieving with my family definitely helped me, feel my emotions and get through that hard time. Basketball helps me get through it because it just reminded me of her and how much she loved watching me play. She just loved supporting me, and I feel like knowing that I was playing the game that she loved to watch me play, it made me feel a lot better.
Sean was truly an amazing athlete, not only just an amazing person, but he would always say hi to everyone, but on the court he was just a force. Amazing I can be on the court to showcase the love I have for others and the love I had for Sean.
After I saw the impact that Sean's room was having on so many Spartans, we had the idea to do more Sean's rooms.
People will go to Sean's room just to do their homework or sit down and relax to get out of class, sometimes just to grab a snack and reset your day.
If we can get through to 5, 10, 15 kids, get their anxiety under control, it will spare them the pain and suffering that I went through as an active alcoholic. Mental health has to be the thing that they put first every day that they get out of bed.
Who will he grow up to be? Well, that depends on all of us. That's why, along with our groundbreaking medical care, Nemours Children's Health supports programs that address issues like food insecurity and the resources essential to learning. It's all part of creating a healthier future for all children. So, he can grow up to be whoever he wants to be. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine.
Aha! I knew it! You are stealing my Jersey Mike's gig.
Danny, it's just because Jersey Mike's is an official sponsor of the NFL. I'm not taking your gig.
Now you're taking my look.
This is how I dress.
My glasses. I've been looking for those.
I wear glasses. I have astigmatism.
I'll give you astigmatism.
Ready for you on set, Eli.
I gotta go.
This ain't over, Manning.
Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey, that's my wine. A sub above.
I have a son who passed away July 2017, and for a long time I knew he had mental health issues. But for a mom, I always say 7 years later I was uneducated. We think depression, it's just about putting your big boy pants on and getting past it. Those things lead to death. With addiction, it is not a time of if you're going to die, it's when you're going to die. If you continue using, you are going to die. If you are not healing the trauma that happened, at some point when you're not talking to a therapist, when you're not coming to a place like Sean's house where you're learning coping mechanisms and all the other things they do here, you're going to need to numb all those things that are going on in your head. And you're going to start out small because you think it's not going to happen to me. Everybody who thinks it's not going to happen to them, guess again, it is going to happen. If you had cancer, you would be happy to talk about it. You would put it out there. I have heart disease, I have leukemia. But the minute someone says, I have an addiction or my kid has an addiction, suddenly people are thinking, where did you go wrong? What's wrong with your child? Why didn't you help them? We need to come to places like this where there are resources that are beyond just the average parent. Reach out and get help.
Partnerships built on relationships. That's our motto at CBM Insurance, and those words guide everything we do. We provide the best possible service experience because our focus is on the relationship first. When you join CBM, you join a team with an average of 20 years in the insurance industry, long-standing relationships with our carrier partners, and deep roots in our community. We stand ready to be your trusted partner and insurance advisor.
An SL24 team is a collaboration between SL24 and a high school or teen-based organization. It can look like what you need it to look like. You can meet once a month or once a week. As long as you have young people who have a voice that needs to be heard and you are dedicated to making changes within your community, you've got an SL24 team.
Taking on this leadership role has taught me that change doesn't need to be loud or perfect. It honestly should just be meaningful and come from the heart. I've taken this difference and made sure that I can be somebody who they can rely on with things that are bothering them or with things that they just want to talk about their day with.
We give teens an opportunity to make their voices heard, to educate, assist, and support their communities, and to feel empowered to make changes that they think need to happen.
I took on the role as Newark Charter's SL24 team captain to make sure that all students feel safe and supported. We want to make sure that all students feel as though they can have someone to lean on when they're going through good times and also have bad times.
I'm so proud of the student leaders that we've assembled in all of these different spaces. They're so motivated to make changes within their community, and they really have something to say.
I've seen more popular kids been able to come and talk to about it, quiet kids that are coming to the tables and talking, and I've seen a lot of people that are more happy about it.
Teens are the ones who are experiencing the problems first. Teens are the ones who are experiencing the harmful effects of rumors, who are noticing how negative social media makes them feel and how quickly a post can ruin their self-image.
I just want to be someone who people can rely on to know that if they're going through a hard time, they can lean on me. And I just want to be a positive impact in everyone's lives.
As much as I love Sean's Room, you don't need to have a Sean's Room in your school to make changes in your school culture, to address the issues in mental health that you're seeing.
I think you're never too small or too new to make a difference. I think every day that I walk into school, I have the opportunity to change someone's lives. It could be one person, it could be 20 people, and I have no idea what I'm doing, but you never know what just starting something could do. It can make one person's day better, and that's truly the difference that means the most. It doesn't matter the space that you're in, it just matters the people that you're with.
People think it's really cool, and a lot of people now want to join, because at first nobody knew what Sean's House was really at our school. They were more worried about like the other clubs at our school that weren't as popular, but now that we've had lots more events, A lot of people want to join it, and we've had a lot of people reaching out wanting to join.
My SL24 team is the most important thing to me in the world. I come home to my family at dinner and I talk about it. I talk about it to my neighbors, to my friends at dance. I talk about it all day, every day. It's so special to me, and I just want to make sure that everyone feels loved and supported.
I think every school should have an SL24 team because it's just a very comfortable setting in the school. It makes people more open and nobody's as scared to talk before. If people had a event, or like not an event, a team, people would be more comfortable to talk about their mental health.
If you're looking to start an SL24 team, please reach out to me at emily@unlockthelight.com for more information. I'd love to give you the tools you need to get started. We have a welcome packet and lots of resources, and we can also bring a SL24 representative to your school to have these conversations with your students.
SL24 Basketball Classic. I'm Natalie here with Mia Lang. Mia, tell me about your role in today's game against St. Mark's.
Yeah, it was a really great game. They're a great team. I know a lot of their players. They play really hard. I used to play with a bunch of them at St. John's, and it was truly a teamwork today. That was what got us the win, and I'm just so proud of our girls. We've been working so hard, and yeah, it was just a great win.
All right, Mia, tell me a little bit about what was motivating you tonight in the game.
Yeah, for sure. There was a lot. Just being here for this amazing cause, SL24. I love the Locke family. I love just being here, just being supported by so many people, and I truly love this cause and just playing for them, playing for Sean.
Great. Now tell me more about specifically how you played tonight's game.
I just came into it trying to lead the team, trying to stay composed, and I really wanted to just showcase not really my skills, just my teamwork, just leading the team. So that was my goal tonight.
Is there anything else that you want to comment on from the game?
I just really want to say great job to our team, great job to St. Mark's. They're a great team, so thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in. We will be back with more from the 8th Annual SL24 Classic after this.
The 8th Annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by DSM Commercial, HFM Advisors, Jersey Mike's, and by Nemours.
And welcome back courtside here at the Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington, your home for the 8th Annual SL24 Classic. And Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon. We are back, game number 2 on a Friday night, and then a whole slate of games coming at you tomorrow as well. We're here heading into the third quarter, St. Mark's and DMA. And coach, it was all Spartans there in that first half. They lead 37-10, and a big part of that was that defense.
St. Mark's got off to a great start defensively. They were so aggressive, picked up at full court, created a lot of havoc with the turnovers. They had active hands. They had great teamwork defensively, communicated extremely well. It was a great half. Their aggression and their team play gave them this big lead. DMA just got sped up well beyond their abilities, made it a tough night so far for them. St. Mark's needs to continue to do it. They're very deep and played extremely well off the bench.
6 or 7 Spartans already on the score sheet here in this one, and you mentioned it, a lot of that defense turning into offense and turning into points for St. Mark's. Big lead for them as we begin the third quarter here, 37-10. They're up by 27. Coach, if you're DMA, what do you do here to kind of get yourselves back into this one?
Well, what you got to do is play this in small increments. Don't try to get it all back right away. Let's win the third quarter by a couple points, see if we can stabilize offensively, run some of their set plays, which they have several, and they're really well executed when they do it. But they've got to find a way to relieve some of the pressure. You've got to work through the post. You've got to be able to attack their pressure and try to convert early on against it. If not, St. Mark's will be able to dictate too much.
St. Mark's led by Dylan Wright there in the first half, a team-high 8 points. But again, a slew of Spartans getting in on the scoring as they were spreading the wealth back there in the first half, and that's what happens when you turn that defense into offense. A lot of turnovers. We'll see if DMA can take care of the basketball here in half number 2, and we'll kind of come back that the Seahawks might have in them. So we are gearing up for the start of the second half, and we're going to have a special guest here in just a moment, making her way here courtside right now, as we are going to be joined now by Kat Locke-Jones. Kat, thank you so much for joining us here on day one, and we get the heavy hitters. I appreciate you chatting with Bill and I.
Thank you so much. I'm
Hello,
honored
Kat.
to be here.
Always great to see you. You look terrific.
Wow, we got a dream team tonight.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was anticipating the start of the third quarter all day, and now here we are. So we're excited to get into it. The 8th annual SL24. How does that sound? 8th annual, the 8th time we're having this fantastic tournament.
It's powerful. Anytime I see the number 8, I'm always aware that we have been missing Sean for 8 years. But I think about the amount of lives that are still here in 8 years, and that's empowering, and that's the stuff that keeps me going every single tournament, every classic, every single day.
We are now ready, St. Mark's and DMA. Start of half number 2, and the Spartans in control to begin the third quarter. So, Kat, you've been integral in shaping this organization's mission. I mean, from day one, what do you see as the most important next steps in educating communities about mental health, and how does the SL24 plan to lead this charge in the future? I know a lot more still to come.
Yeah, I think we have done such a great job when we talk about mental health awareness, and now it's mental health into action. And a lot of that is being consistent in our conversations, being in schools, and making sure that students have the place to tell their story. It's not just enough for Sean's house to be a safe space for all, but we really want it to be a brave space. We want students to have a place to go when their voice quivers.
And it's crazy to think, I mean, we talked about it a little bit earlier when we had Zach on and just talking about the evolution of it in these 8 years. And Coach and I were talking, we said now's the time to get to 675,000 this year, right? Coming off the 674, we're looking to get to 700,000. And speaking of which, can we put that QR code back on the screen for everybody at home? Again, the best and easiest way to donate, scan that QR code right there on your screen. That'll take you where you need to be to make an impact.
I love the idea that you just said about evolution. So at the Newark Charter St. Mark's game, Mia Lang, who was playing, she had also played as a middle schooler. And so to go from playing at the halftime to now playing, at the big show, like what a beautiful evolution. Think about how many conversations are being had like that. People who are continuing to support year after year. We're so thankful for that generosity.
And she had a great interview that just closed out our halftime show there. A great sideline interview, very well spoken, impressive interview from Mia Lang and her victory there with the Patriots. How about that from 8th grader here at halftime too, leading her team to victory here in an actual tournament game. You love to see it.
Yeah, and those conversations she's having with her teammates matter the most.
Absolutely.
Kat, you mentioned not only 8 years, of course, but literally day to day. How do you and the rest of your family keep up that remarkable energy?
I was talking to Patty, my sister, about this. Anytime we're at a family dinner, we still kind of feel like Sean's just running a little bit late. Like he's going to turn the corner and walk in the door, and he's going to be singing a Backstreet Boys song. We're still waiting for that moment. And I think that moment will always be there. Grief is very much like a winter jacket, where it warms you, and sometimes that can feel overwhelming and super heated, and then other times it's comfort because you know that you love someone. And so where there is great grief, there is great love, and we are fortunate to put that love into the work that we do.
I've always been so impressed with your dad, Chris, and how he's been able to take obviously a very sad and tragic situation and turn it into really one of the remarkable movements here in the state of Delaware, no matter what it is. And I'm always so impressed with him when I see him. He's always got a big smile, but I know deep in his heart, there's sadness, but he somehow gets up every day and gets it done. A really remarkable guy, and obviously carries over to his children as well.
Honestly, what I admire the most about my dad is his growth in his own mental health journey. The dad that I had growing up is so dynamic and wonderful, and he really is my hero, but he's more my hero now because he is vulnerable with people his own age, and I watch him have difficult conversations and courageous conversations with men that he works with people in his lives, and that's really awe-inspiring. I'm so lucky that he's my dad.
Well, it's a great word, evolution, isn't it? How people evolve over time, and who's to say that people can't change?
Right, and how beautiful is that? My dad spoke earlier today about the power of change, and I think there's a lot of hope in that. There definitely is.
And Kat, education, a big part of the mission at SL24 also, and you're an educator yourself, 2025 Maryland Teacher of the Year. How about that? Congratulations. That's quite the honor.
Congratulations, Kat. I did not know that. That's fabulous.
I come from a family of teachers and educators as well, so I know how that can be, and congratulations. And how has that kind of maybe helped shape the mission of the SL24, and how have you kind of brought that aspect of it to it?
I am very, very extremely lucky. I teach some of the best students in the world, and I often think about who I was in middle school and what middle schoolers need. You know, from teachers, there's a great line where, like, with everything in life you learn in kindergarten, then everything is tested when you're in middle school and high school. And we teach our kids how to brush their teeth and how to read, but we often don't teach them how to have conversations around mental health. And so being in middle school and being in high school, I know that a big part is asking thoughtful questions and letting kids speak. It doesn't always have to be an adult talking. Giving them the space is really, really important.
What age group do you work with, Kat?
So I work with the middle school. So from 12 to 14, the middle of the
wide
middle.
Swath there.
I know.
And
I
some of the
love
most
it.
challenging age groups
That's
of all
true.
time, right?
Honestly, they keep me young, but they're a great reminder of what it looks like when things are not perfect. And I don't think every conversation around mental health has to be perfect. I think sometimes we're afraid to say the wrong thing, but ultimately it's the intention. It's calling people in that matter more than the words themselves.
And Kat, we were talking to Zach about this a little bit earlier on. We had the luxury of speaking with him in game number 1. And just from your perspective, I know, back when Sean and I were in high school, this again wasn't a topic that was in, a topic of discussion, something that really didn't come up or something that you talked about. Now you being, embedded in it and being such a big part of this great organization, have you noticed now that here we are, 10, 15 years later, how much of a difference? In my perspective, it's a huge difference as you see that QR code on your screen to donate. But have you noticed that as well? Just strides and strides forward.
There is 100% a difference, and I'm loving how people are really committing to being vulnerable, to having a chance to kind of tell their story. And with that difference, something that I'm so proud of is Sean's house is consistent. And so while change happens, we know that this light will continue to shine, whether it is cool to talk about mental health or whether it's something that's trending on social media. No matter what, 136 will always be home. And so I think that is something that I'm so proud of. We have grown, we have changed as an organization, but the light just keeps getting brighter. And it's because of all the people in the stands here today. We're so incredibly lucky to have them.
Very well said. Nick Alessandrini, the coach Bill Harmon, now joined by Catlock Jones, the SL24's co-founder, obviously Sean's sister, and got to mention the 2025 Maryland Teacher of the Year.
Thank you very, very much. You were
Kat,
very
do you
kind.
have a favorite memory of Sean playing in high school? Is there one that kind of stands out to you, or do you have so many it's hard to put into words?
I do have a favorite moment of Sean playing in high school. There was a week where Sean and I were carpooling during basketball season, and he left his gym bag in our car overnight multiple nights. And so every morning when I would go into my car, it would smell foul, horrible.
Like a gym locker room.
Inside of a
Well, it's
sumo
good to know
wrestler's
he was
armpit.
sweating at practice.
Yeah,
He worked hard.
He was committed. And then one day, my younger brother Kevin said, "Sean, do not leave your gym bag in there." And I think about that moment because oftentimes there are people in your life when they will say something and you don't listen. But when it's your older brother or when it's someone that really, really matters and values, it can change your perspective. And I think about the teammates, especially the boys playing here tonight. Sometimes you need a brother to remind you to do what's good for you. And so I think that moment sticks with me. I will say he never listened to me when it comes to cleaning up his sweaty socks, but it's
Listen
okay.
to Kevin,
I
you
forgive
said, right?
him. He listened to Kevin, and so Kevin's really the one that you want. Exactly.
And so free throws coming up here for Isaiah Rice. A nice run to start the third quarter for DMA. An 11-2 run and ongoing here for the Seahawks. Make it 12-2 with 3:13 to go here in the third quarter.
They've gotten St. Mark's, Kat, to play a little bit faster. They've turned them over several times, gotten some good looks inside. They've been sharing the ball much better than they did in the first half.
Another free throw on the way for Rice. And Rice able to knock down a pair. And for the most part, DMA battling back in this game here. 3:10 and ticking. Third quarter is right. Brings it across half court. And Cav got some great auction items again this year. Over 90 items. That's right.
Oh my God.
We were at the house the other day just scrolling through, checking everything out. And let me tell you, there are some fantastic items
know,
in there.
I almost didn't want to share the auction because I don't want people to outbid me. But how is tonight for you? I mean, St. Mark's here, it's got to be special.
It is. It certainly is. And again, it feels like yesterday we were here for the first tournament. I know we were talking about that. It seems like yesterday, and it's just been, a great ride here now in the 8th annual year, and just each year getting bigger, getting stronger, getting more donations, which is so important for the cause. And just happy to be back, and hopefully I'll be happy to be back with you guys as long as you'll have me here.
Always, of course. If you don't have an Allison Greeny on the mic, I mean, what are you doing,
I appreciate it. Able to knock down the free throw that time for St. Mark's. 42-23 as the Seahawks get it within 19. Big three there off the mark. Rebound and brought in by Podolak, and now here comes Dylan Bromwell. That one has been, do you have a favorite part of the weekend? Like you said, we're in the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic. Is there any part of the weekend now that you really look forward to? I know the whole thing, but is there any special part of this Friday, Saturday that you're excited for?
The thing that always excites me every single year is the staff and how hard they work.
Absolutely.
Having conversations with Zach or Ange, Missy, Chandler, Denise, we have such a great and powerful staff. And so there are moments where we get to have our team huddles, and I see how much it means to them, and I'm so inspired that this is their life work. They come to work every single day to make the world brighter. And that's inspiring to me.
I could not agree more. I mean, you can tell right away from the people that we've had a chance to talk to here on the air, just walking around the gym, around the building. I mean, the passion, the energy, it's unmatched, and it's all, 100% genuine.
Yeah, it really, really is. And I think conversations that we're having with parents or teammates, whether it's in a whisper or they're asking about the mental health scholarship or someone thanking us about resources, they are quick moments that have everlasting impact.
Kat, I know you can appreciate this, and Nick, having done this for so long, you see so many of the same faces here year in and year out, the constant support. I mentioned this a couple times throughout the years in the broadcast. So many times movements, foundations like SL24 lose some energy, but this one seems to be going the other way. It seems it picks up energy and keeps people engaged, and that's a great credit to your dad and you and all the other volunteers that are so active.
But I think it's a great credit to the students. It's to the athletes. The game stays the same. The people who are wearing the jerseys change. But every time they step on this court, they're adding something. They're adding something to the sauce. They're adding something to the light. And that's what keeps us going, really. I am so inspired by the athletes every single day. And, I was not a great basketball player.
Well, I wanted to find out a little bit about your basketball game.
Right.
I need a scouting report.
Right. I was what we would call personality hire. I was kind of tall, and so Padua luckily allowed me to add a little spirit to their teams, but that's about it.
I don't believe you. I think locks have a very good jump shot. I find it hard to believe you can't walk out there.
I've never seen a lock without a good shot.
Exactly right. So I don't know if I believe you.
Now, that is me.
And how about that shot up and in from beyond the arc that time for Jaden Early, the junior. See, that's how I picture your shot going down.
Oh, that's so kind. Can't do that. I can grade a mean essay.
Oh, that's
so
right.
if you want to do a 5-paragraph essay,
well, the teacher of the
I'm
year,
your girl.
I believe you as we check out the replay.
We want to talk about semicolons and Oxford commas all day.
Well, here's my question. How does one get to be teacher of the year? What does it take to do something so special and obviously so hard to do?
Well, I got to be teacher of the year because I have students of a lifetime, and so they are really amazing. But you go through a process. I was able to interview in Baltimore City and then go through the Maryland process. But ultimately, going into different schools makes me so appreciative of the work that we get to do at Sean's Room and going into the schools here in Delaware. I think that is something that is so unique to Delaware, having Sean's Rooms and being able to be inside places where kids are every single day. And ultimately, supporting teachers and school counselors. That's really the work that we try and do.
And that's a real cool experience, just seeing those three places at those three high schools, St. Mark's, Salesianum, and St. George's. Did you ever think that we would get to that point there where now everybody's having a little taste of their own Sean's house, if you will?
Right. That was always my dream. I'm definitely someone that focuses on education and when it comes to our mission, and so being in schools every single day. But I think the SL24 teams are amazing, whether it's at Newark Charter or St. George's. These are student-led groups they're leading the light, and they're going to be the next generation that continues these stories.
I will tell you, the students that we had a chance to talk to even on the air here, and Leah from Newark Charter earlier.
Amazing.
We were just kind of almost stunned at how impressive these young high schoolers were with the way they spoke, the way, the things they said, what they believed, and what they were able actually to do. It's been very impressive, and also impressive that three that time. Josh Huffman able to bang one home from the perimeter, lead back to 19.
Yeah, I'm here to tell you that the kids are all right, that our next generation, they have a lot of great work that they're doing. I really am proud of them.
I think that's what was so impressive to me listening to Leah and others, is how remarkably mature they are, how they understand the message, how they're able to communicate it, and at the same time, they seem to be very good listeners as well.
And the reason why you know that is because you had a conversation with them. And so I would push people today to have conversations with middle schoolers, with high schoolers, and let them surprise you. Let them tell your story. This is a great opportunity for you to talk to the teenager in your life. I promise you they're not as scary as you think. I promise.
Kat,
Scout's honor.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for
Fantastic.
Really
Thank you.
Kat, always great to see you. You're the best.
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic. There you have your 2025 Maryland Teacher of the Year, gracing us with her presence here in the third quarter. Kat, thank you so much. A big third quarter here. We're heading to the fourth. It's been all Spartans through three. They lead DMA 47-28. The conclusion coming up after the break.
Partnerships built on relationships. That's our motto at CBM Insurance, and those words guide everything we do. We provide the best possible service experience because our focus is on the relationship first. When you join CBM, you join a team with an average of 20 years in the insurance industry, long-standing relationships with our carrier partners, and deep roots in our community. We stand ready to be your trusted partner and insurance advisor.
The 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic is brought to you by St. Mark's High School, the Buffon, the Cicero, and the Locke family, 94.7 WDSD-FM, and by Matt Haley Trust.
And welcome back courtside here. The start of quarter number 4 between St. Mark's and DMA. Been all Spartans through the first three. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon. The 8th annual SL24 on a Friday night here back at the Chase Fieldhouse. A special thanks to Chandler Morrell and Kat Locke-Jones for joining us. And Kat, our Teacher of the Year, and just so impressive with everything she's been a part of here at the SL24.
Well, she's a lock through and through.
Absolutely.
Articulate, bright, interesting, conversational, outstanding young woman.
And now we hear start of the fourth quarter. DMA, a little run there in the third, but have been all Spartans so far for the majority of this contest. How about that one? Defense to offense yet again. Hanging and finishing. Xavier Tapper, impressive bucket in transition.
One of those many seniors that Coach Monty Wright has, and he's able to play them here tonight. I'll tell you what, though, DMA was really impressive in that run, as much as we were talking to Kat, which was great. They play extremely hard. They never give up. Coach Capello had some really good words for them at halftime. They came out. The lead was just so great. It was hard to overcome. They expended a lot of energy cutting it back to 16 points. I thought they really did a good job. Played the way they really want to play, and that's teamwork, good defense, and better offense.
Elijah Robinson now working it around. Here's Bromwell. Bromwell, a little jab step. And now it's Huffman, fresh off the deep three. Now going to try his luck at a deep two. Banks open late on a Friday. As that one drops through for Huffman. A few consecutive field goals for the Spartans and Huffman. St. Mark's up big.
He's a terrific long-range shooter. He has started on and off this season, but I'll tell you, when he comes in off the bench, he provides a lot of offense, instant energy, and instant offense.
51-28, 6.5 to go here in the fourth. Another steal by St. Mark's, who are absolutely piling up the steals here. You're maybe looking at 25 steals from the Spartans here to this point in this one. Robinson, shot fake, using the shoulder, gets inside, right hand won't go. And the rebound, though, tracked down by Meyer, just turns, faces, and puts it in.
I'm a big fan of Isaiah Robinson. He's a junior. He's very physical, does a really good job with his body, an excellent defender. But I'll tell you what, this Nate Meyer, the senior, has improved a lot this season. He can do a little bit of everything to help his team win. I love his energy. He plays extremely hard. A really good three-point shooter as well.
A whistle on the other side of the floor, 56-28 as you see. St. Mark's on top. And while we have a moment, Coach, let's put that QR code back up on the screen. I feel like it's been a little long. Let's show everybody at home where and how you can donate to the SL24 for a great cause here. Just scan that QR code on your screen, and I'll take you where you need to be. It's that easy to make an impact. It'll be soon to inbound for DMA here under the basket, 5:55 to go. And we have a technical on the floor. I believe against the Spartans. We'll get an explanation here now.
I didn't think so. That was going to be my guess. 34, one of the subs that came in, was not entered in the book. That results in a technical.
They're not on the roster online as well. Good call, Coach. I should have just took my headset off and looked your way. You would have had the answer for me, as the free throws are good for Sean O'Connor.
Well, Sean O'Connor shows that senior leadership. He's their leading scorer, best three-point shooter, very tough defender, and their best free throw shooter, because he's going to take those technicals, whether in a big spread game or in a tight game.
Under 6 minutes to go between DMA and St. Mark's, and when that clock hits 0, I'll be heading to the merch table where you can get shorts, long sleeve tees, crew necks, quarter zips, hoodies, hats, polo shirts, you name it, they've got it, all on sale here at the Fieldhouse. And you can also get it online at unlockthelight.com. Remember, lock with an E, unlockthelight.com. Some great merchandise over there. You heard Leah Witulski talk about it from Newark Charter earlier. She said this could be the best year yet.
And I'm sorry, your favorite is the crew neck?
It's the crew neck. It's the light blue faded Sean's House crew neck with the house on the front.
Almost
That's my
looks
favorite.
like it's been worn before.
That's right. Used to be mine. It's no longer mine. It's Riley's now. As it was taken and stolen, here's Suvi. Suvi ahead of the pack, able to outrun 3 Spartans, but couldn't finish.
Suvi, a really good athlete, just got going a little too horizontal there, couldn't finish up at the basket. But I'll tell you what, when he plays, he provides them with a lot of energy.
A tough fall that time. Hit in the air was the freshman Zach Deadweiler. He hit the ground hard. We hope he's okay as he got to the rim. A nice move by the freshman, who has been impressive today in his minutes for the Spartans.
He's a really good shooter. He's got a great basketball IQ and a great feel for the game. His father, Ricky Detweiler, a terrific player at Tatnall at University of Delaware, a good friend of mine. He's had a couple sons that have played basketball at a very high level. This young one is maybe the best of all. Zach can really shoot it, got a great feel for the game.
That's usually how it goes. As always, the youngest that end up being the best. I guess that's how it goes sometimes. And here's another Deadweiler, and you mentioned it. What a basketball family for the Deadweilers. And we referenced with Chandler here on the broadcast that Tower Hill Salesianum State Championship game. Well, Deadweiler, part of that state championship for Tower Hill.
He could really play. His dad was a great ball handler and shooter, and I tell you what, all these young kids look like they've spent a lot of time in the gym perfecting their long-range shooting ability.
And a timeout on the floor. We'll stay right here. 5:23 to go. Fourth quarter action. All Spartans to this point, 56-30. They're up 26. And let's talk about this virtual auction. Some fantastic items. How about that Super Bowl MVP you see on your screen? Jalen Hurts, you got an autographed football there. 7-night vacation in Antigua. Coach, I know that sounds good, doesn't it?
Well, certainly it would be nice to get away from this cold weather, especially if we get some more snow on Sunday. Whether it happens or not, one will see, but certainly this cold weather has made it really difficult to get around. As I drove down tonight, down here to the Chase Center, I saw a number of literally almost like pickup trucks full of snow that they've been transporting around. I guess the DelDOT has been involved in the city of Wilmington with places that they couldn't get to for a number of days.
That's right. Still a lot of snow out there, that's for
yes,
sure.
Yes, it is. And some of those roads were really unnavigable during the Monday and Tuesday of this week. That's why so many schools were out of session.
And you see Coach Lonnie Wright coaching up his Spartans there. As Deadweiler were headed to the free throw line, fresh out of the timeout, took a hard fall. Good to see him able to get there. And now able to shoot some free throws. First one for Deadweiler, a little bit short, one more upcoming.
Impressive that he got off the ground. He took a big shot there as he went in. We mentioned Kip Fillingame. His father's the head coach at Dickinson, longtime coach, does a great job over there. Kip decided to go to St. Mark's, has been a nice performer off the bench throughout his career. He's got a number of colleges that he's going to be able to attend. He seems to be favoring down south, Clemson, Wake Forest, and several others.
Oh, there you go. Maybe a little Elon action there. Yeah, that's in the same area.
Your alma mater, Nicholas.
Sean O'Connor can't hit the three. Just rolled out. Rebound, though, to the Seahawks. Second chance opportunity thrown away. So 5:03 to go here in this one between St. Mark's and DMA. Don't forget, a full slate coming back at you tomorrow as we have a great day of games planned here. Again, this is the last one finishing up for us on a Friday night. But coming back, start tomorrow, 12 o'clock p.m. for Padua and DMA and the girls to get started there. And a 5-game total slate, and we'll talk about here in a little while for Saturday's action. That one lost. St. Mark's coming up with the steal. And there is the nameless number 34 making an impact.
Lonnie Wright's done a nice job of going to his bench early in the first half here in the fourth quarter, allowing these bench players to get an opportunity to play in front of this big crowd in this terrific arena.
Here's Philip Game. Oh, to the loss to the corner. Back up top, here goes Neal as they get it inside. Good passing here from DMA, but took, I think, a little bit too long, and a 3-second violation there against the Seahawks.
I think they caught the big man, Gabe Francisa, in the lane a little too long. The lefty has played actually pretty well tonight. He's passed up some inside opportunities. He's a right shoulder turner with the left hand, but done a nice job of passing through to the opposite side a number of times.
St. Mark's turns it back over, and again, welcome everyone. If you're just joining us here on the broadcast on a Friday night, it's the 8th annual SL24 Basketball Classic, and there's that QR code on your screen. How can you donate? It's that easy. Just scan that QR code with your phone, and that'll take you to the page. You can donate there and make a big impact if you can. That one lost on the way up. Winds up back in the hands of DMA and finished off by Franchica. And again, if maybe you're tuning in and unfamiliar with what the SL24, the Memorial Classic, it's in honor of our great friend Sean Locke, a 2012 St. Mark's graduate, graduated UD in 2016, played Division I basketball for the Hens. As Coach mentioned earlier in the broadcast, had a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. And Sean unfortunately lost his battle with depression back in July of 2018. And SL24 has come out of that tragedy, and their mission is to educate, assist, and support high school and college students battling depression. And all the funds raised will help SL24 to keep providing valuable services at Sean's house, including the Pier 24 program and Sean's rooms located in St. Mark's, Sally's, and the warehouse in St. George's High School. And again, it's amazing that something so great can come from something so unfortunate.
You know, Kat made a really good point. She talked about how a lot of the volunteers and the people that come are the same, but how the kids are different, obviously, as they graduate and move on. But what's really remarkable to me is throughout the years, I've noticed just the maturity level of all these players. They've got basketball in their minds, but they come out and they understand how important this cause is to not only participate, but why they're participating in it. The maturity level, the attention to what really makes this so special is really amazing to me. It gives me great hope for the youth of America.
I could not agree more. It has been so impressive. And you said it, that was the word I was going to use earlier, was maturity. It really is. And again, all of that because of the SL24 Foundation, because of Unlock the Light in Sean's house. Again, just making such an impact. Franchica underneath, foul, he'll get some free throws. St. Mark's up 27, 3.5 to go here in our final game on a Friday night.
Well, Franchica's really given Coach Papillo some nice minutes here in the second half. He starts the game. Sometimes he gets subbed out for early on when they want to go with a smaller lineup. But when he stabilizes himself inside, works the offensive glass, he's a good high ball screener, and he can finish inside. He can be a real factor for them down the stretch.
And almost to that point, right? I guess a little bit over a month until we wrap up here, and then state tournament just around the corner.
Hopefully you and I'll be doing some games in that.
That's right. We got to get back in the high school mix. A feed here and a nice lay for a cutting filling game. Couldn't finish, and now the other end, DMA. High off the window, a nice finish with Tyler Neal, and I think the slap on the backboard just got the whistle there, but it was a nice finish from Neal, who's put together some nice baskets here tonight.
Coach Papillo's done a nice job of developing his bench. He has 4 very reliable players that can come off and give those starters some really good minutes. And as they continue to develop, they're going to get more and more of those minutes from the starting group. Tyler Nealon Jr., good shooter, good defender, plays very hard.
3-minute mark here of the 4th quarter between St. Mark's and DMA. Game 2 of 2 on our kickoff Friday as Wright had his shot blocked. To follow that time from Phillingham wouldn't go. And now 2-on-1 for DMA in transition. Rembecki gets it back, shot slotted. Nice defensive play by Daniel Ibrahim, the senior, showing off the length.
Ibrahim has not played a lot this season, but boy, when he comes in, he has great length, great activity underneath, a good shot blocker, a good offensive rebounder. I think going forward, Coach Wright may see more time for him on the court.
Good help following was Luke Podolak. He might have got a hand on it. I think we have another technical on the floor. It'll be against Ibrahim. And he'll exit the ball game. He'll head to the bench, getting some coaching on the way there.
That's Jimmy Friel over there, the longtime assistant, head coach for a while of the women's team.
That's right.
Jimmy's a great friend of mine, does a terrific job for Lonnie Wright. Was a fabulous player himself, really has one of the finest jump shots in the history of Delaware. I know, I have watched him for a long time. He can still go out there blindfolded and make them from the three-point line. But Jimmy does a great job for Coach Wright, really good with the players. An exceptional man helping out St. Mark's.
I'd love to see him and Coach Sibley battle it out from the free throw line. Who would win that battle there?
I'm not even going to make that choice, Nick. You'll have to make that decision.
I'll have to wait.
It would have been a good battle.
It would have been. Here's a cutting miss for Jason Paris, and then St. Mark's able to corral the rebound. 2:30 to go. St. Mark's up 22, and they've led wire to wire here at the SL24. Looking for a cutting teammate. He finds Aiden Kokolo. And the senior's fouled, and he'll have some free throws here with 2:27 still to go in the game.
Even though DMA is going to go down to defeat tonight, they'll be 5-8 on the season. I think Coach Papillo's got to be very proud of his team. They were well out of this. This game could have expanded. They played extremely hard. They never quit. They've got some really good players, and once they kind of solidify their offense and don't succumb to the speed up and the pressure of opponents, I think they're going to be a really good team. He works very well with his team. He's got a good coaching staff, and these guys never give up.
So Kokolo at the line here for the Spartans. One more on the way. Off the mark, rebound battle for Phillingham, almost had it. Instead, it's a teammate, Meyer, able to haul it in, and then taken back away by O'Connor in the Seahawks.
Speaking of a guy that never quits, it's that Sean O'Connor. He's played for 4 years, a really good shooter. His team is not doing well tonight, but he continues to show how hard he plays and how his desire is for victory.
That three off the mark there, and again, don't forget as we round out tonight's action about the online auction. That will still go on. The games will come to a close. The auction continues. So you're going to head over and check that out at givebutter.com/C/SL24 Classic 8/auction, or just head over to unlockthelake.com and you can check out all the links there. And again, check out some. I love when we get to see the Jalen Hurts image every time we put that up on the screen there.
Is he your favorite player, Nick?
It's close. It's close. He's up there. And you know, for me, my favorite players, they don't have to be on my favorite team either. I like to look around the NFL, but could have had a better year this year. Going up for the highlight, looking for Rice, and a whistle and a foul on Phillip game. I don't know. I like Hurts, but I think I like the 7-night vacation Antigua a little bit more.
Well, I think you and Riley deserve that. You're probably now maybe starting to get a little bit of sleep over there in the Alessandrini household.
It's coming a little bit. As free throws coming up for Isaiah Rice. Again, starting linebacker and tight end, plays both ways on the football team. And we've seen that athleticism here on display tonight for DMA on the hardwood.
He's a really hard-nosed competitor, an excellent shot blocker. I think he's got 4 on the evening. He can score at any level. A good long defender who's excellent in the open court, and they run a lot of isolations for him.
Minute and a half to go, and do not forget, our goal this year is we have to top what we had last year. $674,324 raised last year at the 7th annual SL24. Here we are back for the 8th. We need to outdo that number. Let's get to 675. Let's get to 700,000. Let's hit those milestones. Let's make history. And again, $2.9 million over the last 7 years. It's truly remarkable to think about what this organization has been able to do.
Yeah, what a fun night. We had a great crowd here. We had 2 really good games. I know this one got away a little bit, but it's been hotly contested and really some good play by both teams. But more importantly, we had a great crowd. I saw a lot of friendly faces here, people that I know, people that have been coming back. Great to hear Chris Locke talk in between games. Great to have Kat and our other guests with us. I think we are off to a really great start, Nick. And always a pleasure to be sitting with you and talking about basketball and life.
That's right. I could not agree more as this 3 is up and in. A straight through for the Seahawks. Straight through for Owen Brower, the senior guard, able to cash in from the outside. And Coach, it's been too long since we've sat next to each other doing a broadcast.
Yeah, we've had some, I see a lot in football. I see a lot of Delaware when we're doing games, but you're sitting down a couple seats from me. But it's always a pleasure, Nick. Nobody works harder in the game than you do to get prepared, and always a pleasure to hear your mellifluous voice with me.
Coach, I appreciate it. That's because I've been able to watch you for all these years and able to take down some notes.
You better start getting a new partner.
40 seconds in winding here as we wrap up the 4th quarter of our final game tonight here on a Friday. But again, don't forget, tomorrow the schedule is full. We are back here ready to go at 12 o'clock for some girls hoops to kick us started. And then we have a full day of action. 12 o'clock, Padua and DMA, and the girls getting us started. Then at 2, as you see the schedule here, Conrad and Odessa, some boys action there. That should be
We've
a great
got another
game.
date at 2, don't we?
That's right, we do. Don't go anywhere.
I can't wait for that. I might not be able to sleep tonight.
Maybe we should just stay here. Ursuline and Friends at 4, St. George's and Smyrna at 6, and you heard our guy Chandler Morrell earlier. He's excited for what he calls the game of the weekend between Sally's and Sanford. 8 o'clock tip-off tomorrow night, and our guy Mike Corey will be back here on the broadcast, and we're excited for him to get into town.
He's flying in from Richmond or driving back, depending on what his mode of transportation is. I'll really enjoy working with Mike, as I always do with you. And a special kind of shout out to Scott Klatskin, who's down at UTEP, and he does a lot of these games. He's sorry he couldn't be here, but he had a responsibility down there with a nice win the other night against New Mexico State. Delaware plays them tomorrow. That's UTEP, but he really misses being here and a big contributor to the SL24 movement as well. So Scotty, if you're watching or listening, hello, my friend, travel safe, and we'll see you soon for Liberty on Wednesday night, but we really miss Scott around here. He does a great job and loves this weekend.
He absolutely does. Yeah, shame that he's unable to be here this year, but like you said, he's halfway across the country here getting in some Delaware hoops. And again, shout out to our voice of the Blue Hens. Big 3 that time for Gabriel Franchica at the end of the game, and that'll do it as the Spartans able to come here to the Chase Fieldhouse and get a big victory, 60-44, and that win streak now continues for the Spartans at 6 games, and they've looked good here in this one tonight, Coach.
They were so aggressive defensively, got off to a high-energy start. Their bench contributed well. All their key players played well. They've got a really good team. They can play 10 deep. Coach Wright does a nice job with his substitution patterns. It was not the best night for Coach Papello, especially taking care of the ball in their offense in the first half, but I love the way they competed, battled back in the second half, and they're a tough team, and they're very well coached. So kudos to DMA for hanging in there and giving their best effort, even though they didn't shoot as well and take care of the ball as well as they will in the future.
Well, that'll bring us to a close here on a Friday night. A special thanks to everyone here involved, and this is just the beginning. A full slate of basketball is set for tomorrow. Again, first game scheduled to tip off at 12 o'clock. It's Padua and DMA, so you can find it again, link to on the SL24 Unlike the Light page online. As again, the Spartans able to win this final one 60-44 over DMA, and then it's the Newark Charter Patriots who get the win over St. Mark's in our girls action to kick off our Friday. There you see Nathan Meyer, big game for him and the Spartans. They get the victory, and that'll wrap us up here on day 1 of the 8th annual SL24. So for everybody upstairs, for Coach Bill Harmon and myself, Nick Alessandrini, we will see you back tomorrow afternoon. Some matinee hoops, 12 o'clock, Padua and DMA kick us off, and we're rolling all day long. There's that QR code. Last time you'll see it here tonight. Make sure you scan that QR code. It'll take you where you can make a donation, where you can make an impact. Again, all for a fantastic cause. That'll do it for us here tonight, courtside at the Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington. Back tomorrow afternoon for the 8th annual SL24, 12 o'clock tip-off for Padua and DMA. We'll see you then.
recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for a number of years. I've struggled with mental health issues as well. I'm a strong believer that my anxiety was something that led to my alcoholism. My goal is that if I can help one student with their mental health issues now, to save them from the pain and suffering that I went through later in life, then I've done my job.
Maybe if my son had had a place like this, maybe addiction would not have taken over and he would have been able to have a safe space where people understood, the struggles of mental health.
I believe that when something so horrible like that tragedy of Sean's dying happened, it's because at that moment he was in such pain and nobody was around. Nobody was there to grab him and hold him and say, I got you. And we all need that. We need to know that we can talk to anyone, that people care about each other.
Being invited to join the board of SL24, I found impact in Delaware, helping friends of my sons who would have never had the opportunity to hang out at Sean's house and get the help they need and remove the stigma.
I share my light because I had some really good adults share their light with me when I was a teenager and into my early 20s. Particularly my father and a few teachers that I encountered really helped me develop resilience.
This is a way for me to just give back to save a life. I love the people who work here. Our peer support specialists are rock stars. They are the beacon of hope for this community.
Why do I share my light is, why don't you? From all of the sponsors, everybody involved, volunteers, peer support, people here at the house, I think they would answer it the same. Why wouldn't you?